In the headlines, Academy Staff Union of University extends strike by 4 weeks. Police neutralize suspected IPOB members in gun battle in Delta State. NCC spends 500 million naira on research in Nigerian universities and other tertiary institutions. And lastly, on the foreign scene, grain ship leaves Ukrainian port of Odessa for first time since Russian invasion. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Martia Umar. Thank you. Now the news in detail. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, has extended its nearly 6-month-old strike by another month. The union, which took the decision after its NEC meeting in Abuja on Monday, said in a statement that the union has not heard from Adamu even as the 2 weeks Buhari gave the minister to resolve the strike elapses on Tuesday. The statement signed by the ASU President Emmanuel Shodeke said the ongoing trial of the suspended Accountant General of the Federation, Ahmed Idris, on allegations of monumental fraud vindicated its rejection of the Integrated Payroll and Personnel Information System, IPPIS, while calling on National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA, to release reports of the latest tests on the University Transparency and Accountability Solution, UTAS, vis-a-vis the IPPIS. The union vowed to resist any attempt by the government to truncate the deployment of UTAS with all available legitimate means. And the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, has committed over 500 million naira to the Nigerian universities and other tertiary institutions across the country. This is with a view to facilitate research and innovation in order to promote development in the Nigerian telecommunications industry. Executive Vice Chairman of the Nigerian Communications Commission, Professor Umar Dambata, disclosed this at a 2-day regional roundtable with academia, industry and other stakeholders, which ended in Kano at the weekend. He said the funds have been committed to research grants to universities and tertiary institutions, including professional chairs in the universities and salient areas to drive technology development. It should be recalled that one of that reason the Academic Staff Union of University is still on strike is the inability of government to fund research in tertiary institutions. And the Delta State Police Command has neutralized 3 armed men suspected to be members of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, at Ogbada quarters along Ila Akukwu Igbo Road. Addressing journalists at the force headquarters in Asaba, the Commissioner of Police, Muhammad Ari Ali, revealed that the patrol team attached to Ila Division, while on stubborn search duty at Ogbada quarters along Ila Akukwu Igbo Road, were attacked by suspected IPOB members. He added that his team engaged them in a fierce gun duel, which led to the death of one of the hoodlums, while other members of the gang escaped with gunshot injuries.
When the DPO Ila and his men were out on stop and search, and the sinister group came in and attacked them, but luck ran against them as they were repelled after a fierce gun battle. Our men were able to chase them, brought one of them down, and that happened to be the leader of the syndicate. He was properly neutralized, and others escaped with bullet wounds. Then the AK-47 you are seeing is one of our AK-47 that was taken away. Recall that 2 AK-47 were carted away upon that attack. To God be the glory. We've been able to recover one, remaining one, neutralize one of them, while 3 others escaped into the bush with bullet wounds. The onslaught against them continues with that bullet wound, and even if they admitted that hospital will still have the cost to call the police. And that they wouldn't like to do that.
And still on police matters, but this time in Ogun State, men of the Ogun State Police Command have arrested a prison escapee, Festus Okwegware, and one Nansinan, Paul Joshua, for vandalizing electricity cable. The two suspects were arrested by men of Ogbere Police Division in conjunction with men of Amoteku, following the vandalization of the power installation at Hallmark University Junction along Shagamu Bini Expressway by some hoodlums. A statement by the Ogun State Police Public Relations Officer Abimbola Oyemi says, upon interrogation, it was discovered that one of the suspects, Festus Okwegware, is an escapee from the White House Correctional Center located at Sapele Road, Benin City. It was further revealed that the escapee was convicted for murder in 2010 and was sentenced to death by hanging. And travelers were on Sunday abducted by bandits along Mutumbiu Wakari Road in Taraba State. The incident, Daily Trust learned, occurred at Bembel in Gasho local government area at about 2 p.m. It was learned that the bandits operating on motorcycles blocked the federal highway at Bembel village, forced motorists to stop and abducted passengers, including drivers. The bandits, it was further gathered, also looted passengers' bags and other belongings inside the vehicles. A brother of the truck driver abducted told Daily Trust that the abductors have called and demanded a ransom of 30 million naira. And 6 herders have been reportedly killed and 7 others missing in Mongi and Langai communities in Mango local government area of Plateau State. State Chairman of Mieti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria, Magban, Nura Abdullahi, who confirmed the development, alleged that a Bauchi-based local security group had on July 22 invaded the communities and arrested some Fulani, took them to the bush and killed them. The Magban chairman said 13 of his members were arrested and 6 corpses found in the bush, while the remaining ones were nowhere to be found. The spokesperson for the Bauchi State Police Command, Ahmed Wakili, said the command is aware of the incident, but it did not happen under its jurisdiction. The Katsina State Police Command has reinforced the ban on the movement of motorcycles in all parts of the state. This is coming barely 4 months after the state government and the command temporarily lifted the ban to ease movement during the Ramadan period. Police Public Relations Officer Gambo Isa, in a statement on Monday, said the enforcement became necessary following the recent threat by terrorists and other criminals riding on motorcycles. The government had earlier declared Monday as a public holiday throughout the state to usher in the new Islamic calendar 1444 AH. The governor called for sustained prayers by all for peace, security and prosperity to reign in the state and country at large. And moving on, the vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Yusuf Baba Ahmed, says Nigerians should disregard social accounts currently circulating in his name, as he is not active on any of the platforms for now. The vice presidential candidate made the clarification at a news conference in Abuja, attributing the action to political opponents bent on disparaging him and his party to hold what he called the rising profile of the Obi Datti ticket. Trust TV's Shafiu Suleiman reports.
Before now, Baba Ahmed represented Kaduna Northern Senatorial District. His recent nomination as vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party by Peter Obi further brought him to limelight. But this also comes with a price. Social media intruders use his name to open several accounts for ulterior motives.
I withdrew from Kaduna State governorship primaries under the PDP on grounds of divergent principles. From 25th of June 2022, I began receiving indications of a possible calling to serve my nation, again this time under the Labour Party, which culminated in my unveiling as vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party on the 8th of July 2022. I was interviewed by BBC immediately after the event, only to find contents of the said interview misrepresented by another social media page. A complaint was immediately made, and this page eventually removed the misrepresented news article, but only after much damage had been done.
Though his current political status requires active engagement in the social media, he says he has asked to grind with operators of some of the platforms, and until that is resolved, he is not active for now.
Complaints about the fake social media accounts have been duly lodged and registered with the relevant host platforms. While I wait and continue to suffer the consequences of mischievous and evil postings done by others falsely in my name, I must acknowledge and appreciate the diligence of well-meaning followers who were quick to observe and object to these accounts, exchanges, and communications on the basis of their good knowledge of me.
The Labour Party presidential candidate is concerned about the security, religious and ethnic consequences of the messages being peddled in his name. He said he wants Nigerians to completely disregard such messages as mischievous, fake and baseless. Shapiro Suleiman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
You're watching the news update on Trust Television. Coming up shortly, we'll take a look at oil and gas communities' task on sustained environmental monitoring. This and other stories after the break. Do stay with us. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is a news update on Trust TV. Before we proceed, a look at our top stories again. We told you earlier that Academy Staff Union of University extends strike by 4 weeks. And the police neutralize suspected IPOB members in gun battle in Delta State. And moving on to more stories. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has officially shut down the online portal for the continuous voter registration exercise. A notice on the website said the severe exercise has been suspended while access to log in to check the status of completed applications will soon be restored. The Commission had pegged the deadline for the exercise on July 31, 2022. After an extension of the first deadline of June 30. The Commission's last update on the registration exercise on Monday, July 25, indicated 11 million Nigerians have so far registered. And as the continuous voter registration exercise come to an end, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has warned Nigerians against selling of votes. Adamu Imam reports.
The INEC National Commissioner in charge of Bauchi, Borno and Yobe State, General Modibo Al-Ali retired, rounded up inspection of different centers in Bauchi where prospective voters expressed satisfaction over the way the exercise was handled.
The INEC office here are doing their best. They are doing their best, and actually they ask people to write their names. After taking their names, they give them number according to the names taken. When they give them the numbers, they call them one after the other. They go in and they do the registration. In fact, it's going smoothly and things are going well. Today, the population is lesser than other days that have been coming here.
Yesterday, so I was not able to do it. So I decided to go back today for it. But I came late, so I'm hoping that I can still make time for it.
I had the PVC before, but it got destroyed during one of the crises where our house was burned. That's why I came out to do another one. And after I complained and told them what happened, they quickly did another one for me. So I pray for Nigeria to have a peaceful election.
The National Commissioner said the Commission had been educating electorates and had also extended the closing date for the PVC severally to avoid last-minute rush or even miss out on the registration. But to his surprise, there are still more people on the queue.
It's a voter's meal ticket in the sense that if you get it, you are going to elect a leader that can give you economy, security, and a lot of other things. So it is your security for you to have your PVC, because you don't know tomorrow. But if you don't reach 18, you are under probation. So INEC is for everybody.
He warned the electorate against multiple registration, describing it as illegal. The National Commissioner lamented over the poor PVC collection turnout in the zone. He said so far only 25% have collected their cards in the zone, calling on electorates to ensure collection of their PVC before it is late. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
And in a sad development, a 3-year-old child died while 2-year-old sibling is critically injured following an early morning downpour that wreaked havoc in Badroga town of Funakai local government area in Gombe State. Daily Trust reports that the rain that lasted for over 5 hours at the weekend resulted in heavy flooding that led to the collapse of one of the walls of the room where the 2 children were sleeping in Ugwedfada near the Emir's Palace. Several others that sustained various degrees of injuries are receiving treatment at the General Hospital, Badroga, and other medical facilities. At the time of filing this report, the head of rescue of the State Emergency Management Agency, Muhammad Garba, said they are still in Badroga assessing the situation to ascertain the casualty figures and the actual number of houses, livestock, and property destroyed by the flood. Host communities of oil and gas have been tasked to bring long-term abuse and neglect in the Niger Delta by multinational companies to an end through sustained environmental monitoring and advocacy. Stakeholders and non-governmental organizations urged the communities to ensure that the economic interests of investors did not threaten the environment. The report.
Due to severe devastation of the ecosystem and the effect on people living on oil-producing communities in Rivers State, stakeholders are championing advocacy against environmental pollution in the Niger Delta. They expressed the importance of community monitoring and advocacy to defend the ecosystem from degradation and pollution, adding that community members should hold environmental destroyers accountable for any damage done.
So this training is meant to equip the community people, not just to see things and walk away, but when they see things, they will take note. They are to become citizen journalists, to report on what is going on in their communities. We also train them on community organizing and solidarity building. We're introducing them to continental networks of fishers, because these are people who used to fish but can't fish anymore. So the things we heard today are very instructive.
They also urged people in the affected communities to always task political leaders to begin to take issues of environmental pollution seriously. Some community members shared their experiences living on destroyed environment.
We told them to be good observers of their environment. When they go out, they see changes in their environment, they should document.
In discussing pollution, we are looking at anything that alter our air, anything that alter our water and our land, and we don't want to contribute to that. So it is not only oil spill. Let us tell them it is enough of all this nonsense.
If you go to clinic, if as I tell you, to kill is very, very close here, the major sickness you see is typhoid, you talk of malaria, you talk of kidney problem, you talk of liver problem. All is as a result of oil pollution.
It could be recalled that in April 2009, Kedere community, which has 54 oil wells, had a major oil spill where fire from Bomu manifold burned and spread to neighboring communities that destroyed people's means of livelihoods.
In business news, the Corporate Affairs Commission, CAC, says it will soon replace the existing means of identification for persons apply for business and a company registration with the National Identification Number, NIN. The Registrar General of the Commission, Garba Abubakar, disclosed this during the 2022 Management Retreat held in Kano. Abubakar said integrating with the national management data would replace use of passport, driver's license and other means of identification for the purpose of registration with the CAC. He further noted that the Commission is working to provide a system that would allow the submission of financial information effortlessly with more efficiency than the current system. And on the international scene, the first ship transporting grains from Ukraine has departed Odessa. Turkish and Ukrainian officials says the ship, which left the southern port of Odessa early on Monday morning, is carrying 26,000 tons of corn and is expected to arrive in Turkish waters for inspection on Tuesday. Russia has been blockading Ukrainian ports since February, but the two sides made a deal to resume shipping. It is hoped that the agreement will ease the global food crisis and lower the prices of grain. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres welcomed the departure of the ship and hailed Turkey for its role in working to implement the agreement. Still on the international scene, India has confirmed its first death caused by monkeypox in the southern part of Kerala. A 22-year-old man who had recently traveled to the state from the United Arab Emirates died on Saturday. Kerala Health Minister Veena George said the man had initially tested positive for the virus abroad. Samples tested after the death also detected the virus, and she said on Monday. And this is the fourth monkeypox death reported globally outside of Africa. And finally, in sports, the Nigerian Police Force Intelligence Response Team Commander Tunji Disu has won a silver medal at the U.S. Open Judo Championship held in the United States. He won the medal in the veteran judo fighter category on Sunday, July 31. During the 33rd U.S. Open Judo Championship held in the United States, he competed among other judokas, most especially world number 1 Woods Glenn of the United States, to achieve the feat. The Super Cop, who heads the renowned crime-busting Department Intelligence Response Team, has been active in judo over the years despite his tight engagement. And finally, in sports, Spanish Formula One driver Fernando Alonso will leave the Alpine team to join Aston Martin on a multi-year contract in 2023. The British team announced in a press release on Monday. The double world champion, who turned 41 on Friday, will replace German driver Sebastian Vettel, a four-time champion who last week announced his retirement from Formula One at the end of the current season. Alonso, who won his world titles in 2005 and 2006, said the Aston Martin team, which is owned by Canadian billionaire Lawrence Stroll, whose son Lance drives the other car, is clearly applying the energy and commitment to win and is one of the most exciting teams in Formula One today. And that wraps up the news updates at this hour. For more, you can visit us across all our social media platforms. I am Martia Umar. Thank you for watching and stay tuned.